What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another YouTube video. It's been a while, but we're back at it and planning on getting regular content coming for you guys. So in today's video, we're going to talk about New Year's diet tips, because I'm pretty sure you're thinking at the moment about making some New Year's and some lifestyle changes. So what I want to do is give you a few tips that are going to stop you making those kind of same mistakes that we make every year. Number one, first tip, okay? I want you to leave the scales in 2021, okay? I know that your goal might be to lose a bit of weight, okay? So it makes sense if you're trying to lose weight, then I'm going to weigh myself. That makes complete sense, doesn't it? You know, I want to get down to X amount of weight. How am I going to know if I get to that weight without weighing myself? Simple, really. It's kind of like a bit of a mindset thing of leaving them behind. Now, what I'm trying to say is the problem is most people start the new year with a weight goal in mind. And what happens is you start to make those changes, a lot of the time quite drastic changes, and you're hyper focused on the scales because that's your goal. I want to go from this weight to that weight. So you're hyper focused on what the scales are saying all the time. The problem with that is there's many reasons why they're not going to go in the direction you want them to go all the time. And then what happens is, if one day you feel like you've had a really good week, you've done everything you need to do, you've made those changes, you've sacrificed, and you've just tried really, really hard, you step on the scales and nothing changes. Or maybe even the scales go up. What then happens is you feel really crappy, you get really angry about things, you think, what's the point? I'm trying really hard and it's still not working, so then you decide, right, that's it, I'm going to give up. And what then happens is you don't get anywhere because you've just completely stopped. So the issue with the scales, and why I want you to leave them in 2021, is because they dictate your emotions, and then that dictates the changes that you make and whether you're putting any effort in or whether you're giving up. The scales aren't everything, and at the end of the day, although you want to go from 14 stone to 10 stone, the goal is not to be 10 stone. That's not what you're aiming to achieve. You just know that by being that little bit lighter, you're going to feel better, more confident, more happy, more healthy. And actually, it's all of the habits and lifestyle changes that you've made to actually achieve that weight, which are actually going to make you happy. So instead, they're what you should start focusing on. Focus on the lifestyle changes, the habits, the things you need to do to get down to that weight. Incorporating exercise, drinking more water, focusing on your sleep, focusing on improving your diet, and approaching your diet with whatever diet strategy you want to take to put you in that consistent calorie deficit, which is going to help you lose weight. Focus on those positive things, sticking to those as best as you can. If you have a bad day, that's okay, don't worry about it. Just move on. And as a result of sticking to and focusing on those things, instead of focusing on the scales, you will achieve that goal, but in a much more positive way. Second thing I want you to do is write down a list of habits, goals, and things you want to achieve this new year, focused around your health, okay? And that could be going to the gym 5 times a week, 3 times a week, whatever it is, just getting into exercise. It could be drinking more water, it could be getting more sleep, it could be cutting down on the alcohol, it could be counting calories, anything, whatever the healthy habits you want to introduce and want to start doing, make a list of them. Now what I want you to do is I want you to pick one of those things and just focus on that until you nail that one thing. Let's say it is going to the gym. You want to go to the gym a minimum of 3 days a week, okay? Focus on that one thing. Don't worry about the other things on your list for now. If you do some of them, great, but don't put too much focus on them. Focus on going to the gym a minimum of 3 times per week. Then once that's kind of become a bit of a habit, a bit normal to you, you're used to it, you've worked it into your routine, then go back to that list and pick the next thing you want to work on. This is all about trying not to make too many changes all at once and the whole thing becomes overwhelming. There's too many big changes and then you end up giving up, okay? I want you to just focus on one thing for now. And once you nail that thing down, then move to something else on your list. And you can kind of do this with anything that you want to achieve in life. Write a list of all the goals and everything you want to achieve. Pick one thing that you're going to go hard on, focus on and work on, and until you've nailed that thing down, move on to something else on that list. Number 3, this is a New Year's tip. This is just a general lifestyle tip. Something that's going to help you rigidly change your lifestyle and make sure that you're constantly focusing on living healthier and just implementing those things that you want to do to achieve your 2022 health goal, okay? And that is make a little list of non-negotiables. Now this might be after you've worked on those goals, okay, but make a little list of non-negotiables. And that can be things like go for a walk every day, okay? Pick like 2 or 3 daily non-negotiables. These things are like, they have to happen every day. Or, you know, 80% of the time at least. Because we're always going to have things where a day just doesn't go to plan because something else has taken a bit of a priority. But what I want you to do is make this list of non-negotiables which are high up on your priority list. And something really, really important has to knock them down, okay, and take place of that. And it could be something like this. Go to the gym or work out a minimum of 3 times per week. Go for a walk every day. Doesn't matter how far, how long for, just get out and go for a walk every day. And then get a minimum of 8 hours a night sleep, at least 5 days a week. Okay, we're not setting, again, unrealistic goals of trying to get in 8 hours of perfect sleep 7 days a week. If you've got kids, if you've got a job where you have to work longer hours, whatever it may be, but just pick those 3 things which are non-negotiables. It could even be with the sleep thing, it could even be got to be in bed by 10 p.m. every night, okay? But you have those, they're set high on your priority list, and that's just an example. I'm not telling you those have to be your 3. Think of what are 3 things that are going to get you to your goal of being fitter, healthier and stronger this year and changing your lifestyle to be more like the person you want to be. What would that person do? And write down those 2 or 3 daily non-negotiables. They are high up on your priority list and something that's mega, mega, mega important has to knock them down. Otherwise, they get done every day instead of certain other things because they're important to you and what you want to achieve. And if you nail those non-negotiables 80% of the time, then the chances are you're going to achieve your goal. And by nailing those non-negotiables, you've achieved the goal of changing your lifestyle to be a particular person. Next up, don't set unrealistic expectations for yourself. This goes back to like creating those lists, you know, of what are all the things you want to achieve and pick one, okay? What we don't want you to do is write down all these things and be like, I want to achieve that by the end of January or end of February. And what happens when you don't achieve that is you feel deflated, you feel like a failure, and then you give up until probably next New Year's resolution. Don't set yourself unrealistic expectations. And that's where those kind of non-negotiables come into play. Okay, they're just small little daily things that if you consistently do, they're gonna get you to your goal of that bigger goal of yours. Okay, without that kind of setting a time frame on it, or that unrealistic expectation you're putting on yourself, which is potentially going to make you feel like a failure when you don't achieve it. Okay, maybe you want to lose 3 stone. Don't set the goal of losing that 3 stone by the end of January. It might take you all year to get there, just by implementing these daily lifestyle things and improving the way that you live your life. Remember, when it comes to losing weight, it didn't take you a month to gain all the weight you now want to lose, so don't expect to lose it within a month. Okay, don't set unrealistic expectations which are just going to put more stress on what you want to achieve. And the last one, which ties in with all of them. It's okay to have a bad day or 2. Don't expect perfection from yourself. This is one of probably the biggest dieting failures, is that everybody thinks that when I decide to go on this diet and when I decide to start this exercise regime or implement these lifestyle habits, that I have to be 100% perfect all the time. And if I have one bad meal or just one bad day or I miss one workout, I'm a complete failure and I need to completely give up. It's just not realistic. It doesn't work like that. Don't be so hard on yourself. You don't expect extreme perfection from any other area of your life, so don't expect it with your diet and with your lifestyle change to try and become fitter and healthier. Okay? If you have a bad day or two, that's fine. As long as eventually you get back to the things, and that's where having this list of non-negotiables helps, because it goes, you can kind of go, right, I've had a bad 2 days, how do I kind of get back on track with things? I feel a bit stressed out, I feel like a bit of a failure. Okay, what's my list of non-negotiables? Okay, I haven't been for a walk for 2 days, I've got to get out for a walk. And the minute you do that first thing, you're back on track, okay? You're back in that frame of mind and that right mindset. 1 or 2 days doesn't matter. It's much better than being good for 2 days and then the rest of the year not, okay? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't feel like you have to be 100% perfect all the time. If you go away, follow this list of things that I've just given you, you're going to have a much better chance of achieving your health and fitness goals in 2022, okay? Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share this video with anybody that you feel needs to hear it. Tag anybody in it that you feel needs to hear it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.